Leaves Rangers 8 points behind Celtic. Their next 3 matches: Hearts at Ibrox, Dundee at Dens, and then Celtic at Celtic Park. But Dunfermline worthy winners, their first win in 69 matches against the Old Firm, as we've all been saying, their first league win over Rangers since '72, their first league win over Rangers at home since 1970. And you can't argue about the merit of the performance, Gordon.
No, it was a good performance. I thought in the first half it was. I think that Craig Brewster said one thing there. He said that we got Rangers at the right time. I mean, they've waited 31 years for a win over Rangers, whatever it is, and that today was the right time, because Rangers are low in confidence. They're without players. Things not going well, a pitch that obviously wasn't going to suit them because it suits Dunfermline. But I would say that in the first half, Dunfermline did really well, played well, got the goal, were good value for the lead. And to beat the Old Firm at any time, you need a share of the breaks. And I think they got them in the second half. The ball just didn't break for Rangers when they were pressing. And I think Rangers did step it up from half time, and we said they would do that. And obviously Alec McLeish was concerned with doing that, but there certainly Rangers were better in the second half. But then the second goal was a killer.
Yeah. Halfway through the second half, though, having said that, Rangers did look as if an equaliser was possible, didn't it? Because Dunfermline were beginning to defend very deeply. Rangers were beginning to create chances, particularly when Arveladze came on.
Yeah, well, he made a big difference. I mean, 3 times he got the ball into feet and played cute little passes into areas that got Rangers chances. And they didn't take them, and you just felt if they didn't take them, it was always a possibility Dunfermline would score again. I think justice was done today. I mean, they were the better team. I don't think it mattered which surface the game was played on. You know, the passing game suited Dunfermline. If ever there was a team designed to play on this type of pitch, is them, because they do play pass and move. They use the ball very well, and I thought they were good value for the win today.
Yeah, you said before the game, Stuart, in fact, there's a big chance for Dunfermline. They are a good side. Having said all that, the first goal for the passing side came through the old 1-2, the long kick out from the goalkeeper, the flick on from Brewster, and the goal from Crawford. It works very well for them, doesn't it?
It's a great finish, but the good coaching point is, if you see it from even behind the goals, watch Stevie Crawford's run here. This is what's intelligent. He knows Brewster's going to win. Look, he's blindside of Berg to start with, and Berg doesn't see him coming, and he gets across him and he finishes, and it's a great goal.
Derek Stilley had a good game though, because this is early in the second half, and suddenly the crosses were beginning to come in, Stuart, and we began to think, well, could Rangers get back in here?
Well, Rangers, you can't expect to dominate a team, Rangers or Celtic for 90 minutes, and they were bound to get a good spell, and the fact is they didn't capitalise. They put some dangerous balls in, but I don't think the strikers were particularly sharp up front for Rangers today, and they weren't reacting to second balls. It was only when Arveladze came on they actually looked a real threat.
This was a Henning Berg mistake, and Michael Ball does wonderfully well here to get back and save the jerseys, because Stevie Crawford was away there, I think, Gordon.
Yeah, at that moment that was a match-saving challenge, no doubt about it. Arveladze, as Stuart said, made a big difference. He came on, all of a sudden there was a quality to Rangers passing, and Lovenkratz might have done a bit better with a better touch, and the ball get whipped in here. You see another example there, Arveladze just like laying a chance on. I think Rob Malcolm falls over as well. He slips on the pitch, but here's the second goal.
It was a comedy of errors. It probably was a penalty, Stuart, wasn't it?
Well, you see the reaction of all the Dunfermline players go up, put their hands up, and they even showed Jimmy Caldwell appealing for a penalty. It was an obvious penalty, and I think you could say justice was done. The fact they knocked it in the net, I think it was only right.
Kind of summed up Rangers' day, really, didn't it? 2-0 it finishes to Dunfermline. Here's the reaction of the Dunfermline manager, Jimmy Calderwood.
Jimmy, you've been trying for a long time to try and beat Rangers. What was the secret of success today then? I thought we played well. Obviously Rangers got a lot of injuries. We played well. We went in the lead, and probably got the breaks. In the end, we just talked to Craig Brewster, the grand old man, 37. But what performance he put in! He's magnificent. He really is. He's a credit to himself. I've said to him, taking Monday and Tuesdays off for training. To keep him. But he's one of the fittest lads at the club. If we go running or that, he's always up front, and he is a magnificent professional. And some people say football's all about pace and the thing, but you've got to have some brains also. Yeah, we also have to talk about the pitch. I'm sure it'll be brought up. How much of a factor was that, Jimmy, in the victory? Well, I think it was a good game for your viewers. The pace of the game was high. We're always going to blame something. I'm a bit fed up talking about it this year, and we've got to get on with it, Yeah, but I mean, the fact that you're getting more and more used to it has got a bit of help to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it might be probably an advantage, but we're always a strong home team. The only difference is we beat Rangers now. We've not done that for a wee while.
Yeah, well, 31 years I think was the last count in the league game for Dunfermline. It's a monkey off your back. And what do you believe this Dunfermline team can achieve this season then?
Well, we'll do with Celtic here, albeit in ordinary grass. You know, and we'll beat Rangers. As I say, Ali's got a lot of injuries, and some people say it might be a good time to get them, but they still had 6 or 7 internationals in their team. And they have won, although they've been struggling the last few weeks away from home, they have still won the away. And, you know, coming here today, we've took the points off them and made it very difficult for them to win the league.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay, check.
Yes, the issue of the pitch, maybe a little bit of a smokescreen. The poll result, we've been asking you to phone in with your verdict, and at half-time, remember, 64% of you thought the pitch was an influence. Look at this at the end of the match, 51-49. The pitch, it would appear, you think, didn't have a whole lot to do with it. Having said that, Dunfermline have now played on it 8 times. They've won 5, drawn 2 and lost only once to Kilmarnock. But it is a bit of a smokescreen, Stuart, because Dunfermline were the better team, and Rangers at the moment are poor.
I think you just had to look at the sharpness in their play, the passing game that Dunfermline played, and their movement and the way they shut Rangers down. They didn't give them any time on the ball, particularly in the first 45 minutes. And as I said before, I don't think that the pitch had an influence on the result today. I think you could say over the course of a season, there's no doubt it's an advantage because they get to train it every day. They get used to the bounce and you know, how to close down, when to tackle, if you can tackle. There's lots of things you could talk about, and over the course of a season, I would say it is an advantage.
Yeah, but Dunfermline now move to within 3 points of Hearts. They're obviously in the hunt for third place. From Rangers' point of view, well, there are now major talking points because it's been a bad week for them, a bad performance and a bad result at Panathinaikos. Likewise today.
That's right. I mean, that's why they put out the good news about signing Boomsong today, and obviously to try and you know, keep the fans happy with some good points. But I think the pitch, I think you can't say the pitch that resulted in Dunfermline winning, but I think it is a factor, because if you think about it, it was always going to be something that was going to make it bring more advantage to Dunfermline because they're used to it. It's a different type of game on it, and because of the fact that Rangers have been so poor of late and they're scraping through their games, it was always going to make it that pitch was going to be significant if Dunfermline could also play well and get the breaks as they did. So I think it was a factor. I mean, as you just said, only Kilmarnock won there. We both played on it. I played in a friendly game on it with the press, and Stuart's played on it. It's not a good pitch. I don't care what anybody says, and Rangers will be seen that, you know, has been discredited.
But I still think if we start talking about the pitch, you're not doing Dunfermline credit.
Absolutely.
They were the better team today. They deserve to win.
They deserve to win on the day. We have to give them credit, and I think, you know, you don't want to dwell too much on the pitch. But Dunfermline, they got their tactics right. It was mentioned there, tactics right in the first half, and they were sharper. They knew how to go about it, and I thought they were excellent. Yeah,
I'll not put Stuart on the spot with us, and I'll ask you. It's probably fairer, Gordon, but Hearts home, Dundee away, Celtic away. The start of 2004, the league could be all but over.
In that period, it could be. The title's not over yet, but it's getting closer to that. Yeah.
Yeah.